Hello and welcome back to Remnant 2. Last time we finished off Yeisha by defeating the Ravager, and now we're here in the Labyrinth, looking at the next place to go to, our final location. First, let's talk to Clementine.
Long journey, eh? But we're almost done now. Once you take out whatever's on the other side of that, the ward will be safe. Everyone will. Everywhere. For good.
That's a lot more dialogue options than I thought. We'll just go Keeper seems different from before.
You noticed, huh? I wasn't sure myself, but the fact that you're asking confirms it. I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with me. That's crazy, though. Nothing I did ever changed the Guardian on Resum. If anything, the power they gave me made them weaker. But I don't know what else it could be.
That's about it. Everything else is pretty simple. Spoke with Bo. I think he understands why you're saying. She's just like, okay, good. Have you seen Ford? No. What can you tell me about this place? Not much. When this is over, will you come back to the ward? She doesn't want to. She wants to stay here. And do you understand why the Keeper looks so different? And it's kind of mirroring her. And kind of trying to adopt a more human form. That's about it.
And hey, if you see the ward again, tell Bo... Tell everyone that I'm okay. They don't need to worry about me. Don't let me stop you.
Let's go. The bummer is we don't fight these again. Those guys are only a boss on Yeisha. They're an option instead of the Ravager, you fight one of them. Feel like it was a bit of a missed opportunity to let us fight one here. Because also, there are no dungeons.
This looks like Earth, but somehow worse.
Somehow worse? Gee, I wonder how it might be a little bit worse. But yeah, this area... I like the Ashen Wasteland. I like this kind of root earth. But I also feel like it kind of comes off as a last-minute addition to the game. Just because there's no extra dungeons. There's, I think, one possible, like, variation in a boss fight. Whether you fight one guy or a different guy. Short of that, it's pretty straightforward by the numbers. You're facing X, Y, and Z. But I also get it. You don't want to sit here and bog players down when they're essentially at the end of the journey anyways. It just also feels a little strange. Okay, so we gotta find this path up. This route is entirely optional, but you do get a weapon.
Oh yeah.
So now we have the flamethrower from the first game. And it's not an SMG with a flamethrower attachment, it's a flamethrower with more or less a grenade launcher attachment. Is it good? It has damage fall off at like 8 meters and it's like a hard limit, so even if you extend range, you're getting less and less effectiveness out of it. And in the end, that's kind of something you have to weigh for yourself and say, is it worth using a weapon that's kind of hard stuck at a certain range? That's why people tend to use Nebula, because at least with the ability, it's not a fire and forget. It's very just like, yeah, I mean, it is a fire and forget. It's not just like a fire once and then wait. You can fire it, it'll chase down enemies, the nanites will do a bunch of damage, and you have time. I do miss the old root enemies. Like the guys who ran around with the little rifles and stuff, they were fun. Were they menacing? Not really. Unless they just like jumped you with a dozen of them. But that was also kind of the fun, was you could fight a ton of them at once. It was always a possibility. And having the minigunners show up more, and the new cannon guy is cool, but the cannon guy also hurts a lot. Oh, I'm kind of dumb. I never maxed out my relics. I probably could have done that instead of maxing out both my guns. Whatever. If it comes back to haunt me, it comes back to haunt me. That is actually a really good heart to get. The resonating heart lets you do a lot of fun tricks. Boost our healing effectiveness, boost our max health, and that one's range damage. Yeah, that's kind of really it. We also have, like, no upgrades for them, which might make this fight actually a lot tougher. That is something to mention. You gain higher levels, like, from my understanding, it's a two-piece thing. First off, it is based on what your level is for, like, your subclasses, your archetypes. But it takes into consideration all of them. So if you have all of the subclasses, then you have you have marginally better odds of getting higher rolls. And then from there, you also need to have higher difficulty. If you run Apocalypse with all maxed out classes, you will get the highest rank mods possible. Also, we picked up Xania's Malice. You need this to get the Archon archetype. It's one of the items needed to get Corrupted to go in. So keep that in mind. I, for the longest time, did not realize there was a hole there. And then when I looked it up, and they're like, oh yeah, you go there. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I do wish we would have had, like, Singe come back. Honestly, any of the old Remnant 1 bosses. I think they'd be fun to just have come back as side dungeons. Be like, yeah, the root just, like, reformed them. Maybe made them a little different. Yeah, get Tomahawk Nerd. I just love how this thing is just, like, whipping exploding axes with just reckless abandon. No. You go slow now. Huh, you can roll into those and make them explode. That is a revelation. Ah, there we go. And that is a skill that is completely unnecessary, but I will max it out. Mostly because I have the points, and because I think handling is a very solid bet. Because you saw how much dispersion we had on our shots before full autoing this. Now it's a lot better. And that's all I really care about, is getting good shot dispersion. I don't like... That's always been my problem with this SMG, is if you don't have that control, you end up suffering pretty badly with it. Increase melee damage by 0.2% for every 1 point of encumbrance. Which, I don't think we have the ring, because you find it here. But there's a ring... Oh no, it was on Nerud. So we should have it, unless I just didn't buy it. Do I remember the name? No. No, why would I? It's a terrible ring. But the ring is the one that gives you 50 extra encumbrance and your unarmed damage, or like your punch damage, gets increased. So you could go silver band, that ring, the haymaker ring, and there's actually I think another melee ring later on that we can find, and kind of do a melee build. Would I do it? God, no. I still don't think melee in this game is in a good state. I think it is still incredibly reckless, and likely to just get you mollywhopped the second you try it. Because, come on, it's melee. You expect good things to come out of melee? This isn't Dark Souls, where it's all melee and using bows kind of sucks. But this is kind of neat, being on Root Earth and then seeing, like, this is where we were in our normal world in World War 13. The Anka power. Increase all damage by 15%. consuming a relic doubles the bonus for 15 seconds. You could probably do something with like a hunter build. But once again, I think people already know kind of like what the be-all end-all builds are. There isn't a lot of wiggle room, I think. Okay, we got every box here. Yeah, get him, Tiny. Yeah, that's this whole room. Just couldn't remember. I swear they gave this guy new attacks, because I don't remember some of these. I definitely don't remember him being, like, throwing 2 axes before stopping. Dying Ember. That is 5% base melee damage is lifesteal. I mean, something like that would really help with a melee build. But I'm just not sure, because I'd say you run Challenger, and then as a side thing you run Medic, and you have the shield, but kind of the point of the shield is to have the ring that gives you 3% HP regen while you have a shield up, so that you pop it, get all your health back, or at least a bunch of your health back, and you keep fighting. Because otherwise you're relying entirely on just being able to punch out your health, and that's not a good strategy if we're being real. Maybe if you took the extra lifesteal and you just... I know, you'd have to stack a lot of lifesteal, but then you also have to have good stagger resist. Because otherwise these bosses could just stagger you out of doing anything. Don't question it, I needed those 2 extra bullets. Oh, yep, this boss. It is indeed ominous. Wish I had some of my other kind of staple traits like bark skin, which gives you just 10% damage reduction. You don't realize how bad you need just raw damage reduction until you start getting slapped around. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this relic. What it does is it heals you a set amount, and then what it does afterwards is it says, okay, any overheal, you then get back a little bit later after a couple seconds. And people figured out you can actually chain it and get just tons and tons of healing that you rightfully shouldn't have. Granted, you can have as much healing as you want, but if you can't actually kill, it's moot. And if you can't take the damage outright, because you could heal 500 damage per second, but if you have 200 health and you take a 300 damage hit, you're dead.
Won't fit.
Okay, that ability is... I'm trying to think which one this is. I think it's Skewer, which is pretty good. Skewer's a pretty solid ability. I used it for a long time before I got the Fargazer. We'll rest just because. And because we have another boss fight ahead, so I'm not gonna head back and double check what the item gives just yet. Yeah, that recoil is nasty. Okay, we're gonna hit you from long range. As you can see, the range still is just... the spread is so minimal. This is great for pretty much any build. It's just giving up 10 whole skill points. That can be a hard sell a lot of times for people. And these builds do not have wiggle room, unfortunately. Once again, me advocating that we should have just had as many skill points as possible and let us build out how we want. Because realistically, who cares? Like, I would understand if there was some, you know, Diablo 4 statue thing like they did where it's like, oh, first people to max level in hardcore get their name on this statue. There's nothing for this, so who cares? If I want to farm out levels and become baller as can be, that's my deal. Hey, Tiny, you want to, you know, slap? Or are you just kind of vibing? Okay. Yeah, sometimes the pathing just kind of stops pathing. Yay, melee damage upgrade. Not at all what I was hoping for, but in the end it's an upgrade.
I like that.
Decayed Heart. Cause the next 3 instances of enemy damage taken to trigger 46 health regen over 3 seconds, last 30 seconds. It's not bad. I just don't know how I feel about it. Once again, it would work on like a medic tank, but if you're a melee tank, you shouldn't be putting medic as your prime perk, you should have it as your second, so that you get the second life as challenger. Otherwise you're just kinda shortchanging your own capabilities. I'm sure people will say, oh, using the revive on challengers a crutch, and I don't know. Isn't everything a crutch? Oh, you don't have to heal, just learn to dodge. Oh, you don't have to shoot, learn to melee. Everything fails when it comes to internet Bushido to somebody. Which I feel I have to explain that. Internet Bushido is the idea, you see it with like COD, when people say like, oh, you suck because you have to use sniper rifle or shotgun or whatever. It's the idea of whatever you do is trash and dishonorable, while everything I do is the only proper way of playing. It's always goofy clowns who get angry over it, and I guess you can get angry, but when you're like telling someone to play a different way, it's like, just adapt at that point. You come off as kind of a wuss if you have to be like, oh, stop doing the way that works and fight me a different way that I have an advantage. Like, no. No, that's not how anything works. I love watching 38 rounds turn into like 50. Some absolute transmutation going on here. Yeah, there's this little nook, but it doesn't have anything, which is a wasted opportunity. Because who actually looks behind there? I'm a little disappointed we didn't get, or at least I haven't seen the room that has the right boss to get us the Invader class, but it's fine, I guess, because we have the item we don't need to. I just wanted to show there's a little nook you go into, and then from there you have to have your staff and you siphon a dream out of a guy. It's interesting, but you know, there's a whole course of action here. And then here, if you have it, the Firestorm is really good for this little part right here, because the Root guys are jumping out of these tubes, and I saw a dude who was built for like max AoE, and he would just sit here, pop 2 because he had like one of the amulets that gives you like double charge, and you just pop one there, pop one here, everything would just climb out and die instantly. And then he had enough charges already that when this little fight happened, he just turned around and did the exact same thing. I was doing co-op with the guy, I got sucked in and died. You should have seen the AoEs though, they were massive. I kind of want to do a dumb build like that, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't actually know how efficient the builds actually are, because it's so dumb looking that it feels like it's just a meme. It's not like other games where it's like, oh, this is blatantly the top method, and you can tell just off rip. Almost every build in this game feels like a meme. Or it's a contradiction. Hey, can you like leave me alone? Yo, Reaver, you wanna like take an action or something? Wayfair. That is, I think, just movement. Yeah. Traversal speed. I don't know who ever uses that skill. And that's why traits like that, I think that's why they should just allow all traits. Just get as many points as you want. Cut back on how many tomes of knowledge are just laying around. Because who cares? No one in their right mind is spending finite trait points on traversal speed or evade distance. Seriously, who looks at this and is like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna spend my finite skill points on. Being able to roll further. Hang on, did we search everything there? Yeah, because there's no door. Oh no, there is a door down there. Oh, this is the room. Yep. So we do have it. Okay, so for him, we need our dream catcher.
Out of room.
Then we just walk on up. escalation protocol, which gives us increase all damage dealt by 2.5% for 10 seconds after killing an enemy, stacks 10 times. Dealing damage refreshes the timer. Decent for wave clear, but otherwise you have to just continually deal damage. And then for this, I think we have to... There we go. Walker's Dream, which we then go into our inventory, take a look at it. Oh, right, we have to... This is a little annoying. You have to quick slot it, and then... Nope. Thought I quick slotted you. Ah. There we go. Now we are in the dream.
Come on.
Behold. Also, I like how our ammo persists into the dream. Hey, guy, look at me. Empathy, so he'll heal when I heal. Which is fine, because being a medic means I don't have to actually heal. Unless I get just walloped by the floating guy. Hate that guy. Oh, there's two of them. Yeah, I'd like to not die here, please. Thank you. Even though I know they will pursue me to the ends of the earth. Okay. Yeah, that was gonna happen. But I believe I got the item, so I don't really care too much. I just kind of hate those guys. They're annoying. This is kind of the curse of playing solo, is it's like, as good as Fargazer is as a boss melter, you kind of need a second person to carry something like Firestorm. Because then you just vacuum up all those guys into a fire tornado and let them get taken care of. Because I don't think we can go back in. I want to say now it's pretty done and dusted here. Because I don't think we can just, like, steal another dream. Or maybe we can. We'll test that. Because if I can just pocket another dream and go back in, I'll do it. I'll always take more Luminite. Oh yeah, we can just get another dream. And there's, to my knowledge, I think 3 dreams you can enter. This one, Nimue, and... there's a Huntress. She's the 3rd dream you can enter. Yeah, there should be a place we can enter, I think, in this arena. Or there's actually nothing here. I'm a little foggy on this. I've only done it once, because it's the luck of having everything spawn. No, looks like it's all done. That's fine. I was also kind of hoping to get revenge, but can't do that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll check the Necrosite strand.
This better be... Alright then.
Oh, defrag. Yeah, that's... Don't use this. It's not good. Like, oh, it applies fragmented, and when they die it creates a glitch, and if you shoot the glitch, it can create a damaging pool, otherwise you can pick it up and get a damage bonus. It's a waste. It's bad, it doesn't help you. It might offer a bit on wave clear, but if you're already chewing through guys, you're just gonna chew through them just fine. It's not worth it. It's bad. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.